I'm going to be attaching these two holes, this one and this one. I'm going to do them kind of in two ways, but I'm really going to do it the easy way, honestly, is what I'm going to do, because I really don't want to be spending all day here. But I'm going to show you two different ways of doing it, all right? So bear with me as I do this. I'm actually using this camera for the first time. Understand this, they scored this, so this has got some deep razor cuts in here. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm going to tape it anyway, but what I definitely have to do is I have to cut this back. I grab my saw, and by the way, don't put this pencil in your mouth, you might get corona. All right, so I want to let this I'm going to cut this nice and even with this floor truss. These are trusses, by the way. They're 2x4 crisscross. So I want to do that first. And then I'm going to take it to where they scribed this. So they put a cut in that. So now I can go two different ways. I can cut a piece the size that I need here. I can hold it up there and I can mark it with a pencil, right? Or I can take my square, I can stick it up here like this. I can find the farthest point on this side. I don't have to cut the other side of this truss. I don't have to do that. I can put backer up there. But I can take this, I can put it right up tight to the wall so it stays square, and I can mark this now. Okay? And now I want to make sure that this is square and this is square too. And I can't quite reach that wall and I can't quite reach this wall, but I do have this I can work off of. So I can put this right tight to here, I hope. And I can't do that either. Give me a second. No, I can't, it won't go far enough. It won't go far enough. So I can hold this to here. I have a lip on this, so I can hold this to that lip there. I can get it close to the wall. That's actually perfect right there. And I can mark it this way. And then I can line this up with this here. Let's go this direction. You guys are sitting there saying, what is he doing? What the heck is this guy doing? But I need to try to get the line straight on this side too. They just did not. So I just kind of followed this line here with the edge of this. So if I cut this, and cut this, it should be nice and square now so I can put a square piece in. I'm going to have to put some backer on this because I'm not going to cut this back any more than I just did. I'll put a little piece of backer here, a couple of chunks of 2x4, and I'll screw them in there, and I'll take that. And that's what I'll do. I'm going to go to this one now. Now you see, if they would have just cut this thing straight and square, it would be so much easier. Matter of fact, if they took their time and they didn't even have to cut it straight and square, if they would have just cut this piece out carefully, just took a saw and cut this piece out carefully and took this piece out, I could put that piece right back in. That's the way to do it, guys. When you're cutting a hole, save the piece. Save the piece. You are going to save so much time and so much money if you just save the piece. But they didn't. So with this one here, I already measured it. I measured the distance from here to here. This is cut farther this direction, and it's closer here. So that's what I did. And I came out with this measurement to cut a square piece. Now, I'm going to line it up to the farthest point right here, like this. And I'm going to make sure I'm beyond that. Okay. I'm just going to line this piece up. But before I do that, let's scratch. And so I can tack it. So I'm going to line this up here I'm going to line it up here like this. I'm going to make sure this works. I'm going to tack a screw here. Just tacking the screw here. I'm going to tack one here, like so. Okay, so that stays. Now, I'm going to pencil it in. Make sure that's done too. Now I can pull these screws back out. Let's see, I'll use this one. I'll pull these screws back out. And now, when I cut those pencil lines, this piece will fit perfectly, absolutely perfectly. I don't have to worry about backer here because I'm going to be hitting that, but I will put a piece of backer along this wall. I've got some around here, and that's the way of doing it. Me personally, I prefer this method than that method. I'm going to have to cut this all out. I'm going to have to measure it now. I'm going to have to do all of that. When I cut this all out, I've got the piece. I'm ready to just hang this piece. So that's what I'll get back to you when I start to tape this, but let me get this cut out, and then I'll show you how I put the backing in and stuff. But and then I'll get back to you when I do my next phase. You don't want to sit there and watch me do all of this. This is just boring. Main thing you really want to, one of the main things that you want to do when you're doing these patches is make sure you have the right drywall for what you've got here. So if this is 5/8, you want your drywall to be 5/8. If this is 1/2 inch, you want this patch to be 1/2 inch. Don't think you're going to put a piece of 1/2 inch where the 5/8 inch is. And then you always want to make sure it's nice and flat and flush. And if it's not, you want to use some shims, some sort of shims, anything to make sure that these pieces are really flush. This is the one, like I said, I marked and cut out and everything else. And if you can see this right here, like I said, this is a razor knife. Whoever cut this out puts a bad razor cut across here. Everything's nice and solid and good, but I have to tape this. There's no way I'm just going to mud this in. It doesn't work that way. It has to be taped. So now I've got my piece. I'm all ready. I'm going to hang this piece. This is my last piece, and then I'll start to tape it. I'll mix up and start to tape it. So just bear with me. Let me get this last piece in, and I will, and then I'll video me taping it too. Okay? But I'm going to just tack in a couple of screws here for now. All right, and now I can just go ahead and screw it up. A piece this big, since I don't have any glue on it, I'm going to probably put, I would have done 1, 2, 3 screws here. That actually looks really good. And then 1, screws. Got 2 different size screws here. 2 and 3. All right, this is all ready to tape. So I'm going to start to get this taped, and I'll be right back. I'm about to tape this now, and I've got different things about to tape this. Because it's in the middle of the room, I would not have any problems taping it with the fiberglass mesh tape. Okay, I would not. I mean, a lot of tapers are going to use paper tape to tape this. So, and that's perfectly fine too. These two are just fine with that. Since I have it here, I'm actually going to use this. This is fiberfuse, and I'm actually going to use fiberfuse to tape this out with, because I just like how flat it lays down and how easy it is to finish. But this one over here, I'm going to use super wide fiberfuse because, like I said, I've got a big scribe here, and this is going to cover the whole thing. That way I don't have to run 2 pieces of tape here, and I can tape this all up with 1 shot of this, and I'm done. Just, that's it, that's done. What I don't want to tape, which, come on guys, let's see how many have gone into a job, and it was just taped with this. They put this up there, they mudded it up, thinking it's gonna work. This will not work. It will not work. So don't use this. All right, I have to, you see the glove on my hand? When I was putting in the backing, I actually put a screw through the piece of backing right into my finger, and I jerked it out, and I pulled some of the meat out. Oh, it was bad. It hurt. It hurt badly. But the reason being is I mowed the lawn yesterday, and I have allergies, and I didn't wear a mask when I mowed the lawn. And so my allergies acted up, and I took something for allergy medicine. I took some allergy medicine yesterday around 10 o'clock, and I'm still a little goofy. It's just, I'm not used to that. Yes, I know, I'm always goofy. But I'm just not used to my head being goofy anymore. I cleared my head out a number of years ago. I got sober in 1984, and I've been sober-minded for many years, and the slightest little stuff that makes me a little goofy drives me nuts. Uh-oh, dropped a piece. So I don't like dropping a piece. I just like to thank you guys for watching. I've got a lot of neat followers. I have one Patreon member I just want to talk about a minute. He had a problem with his mud runner. He buys a brand new mud runner because he's been watching my videos and things, and he subscribed as a Patreon on my Patreon account. Hint, 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 hint. And then I actually Zoom meetings with him when he has problems and troubles. It's actually kind of cool. So, he buys a brand new mud runner, and he has a problem with it. So he brings it back so they can see what's wrong, and they bring it in, they take it back, and they service it. Now, obviously, it didn't cost him anything because it's brand new, but they service it. But he says he gets it back, and it's got old parts on it, that it's not brand new anymore. They went and serviced it, and they replaced some of the new parts with some old parts, probably refurbished parts. Shame on you, Tape Tech. Shame on you. There's no way you should have done that. And then now they're asking him, so what's wrong? Is it not working? It's not working? No, it's working just fine. But he paid for a brand new mud runner, not for something that was refurbished. I mean, if you're gonna put refurbished parts on his mud runner, you should give him a discount for it. He paid good money for that thing. So don't be giving him refurbished parts. So he says he's pretty much done with Tape Tech because of their service, the way they serviced him. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. And I gotta tell you what, I've brought my Tape Tech tools, not the Tape Tech, but the Drywall Master. Drywall Master can service Tape Tech tools, guys, and they do a very, very good job at servicing Tape Tech tools. I really like them for that. I think they service Tape Tech tools better than Tape Tech does. Tape Tech doesn't service their tools as good as Drywall Master does. And so I really admire Drywall Master for that. But so I asked my Patreon if he would mind if I mention that. He says no, not at all. So Mr. Provost, I'm having a mental block with names right now, I'm sorry. But I'm sorry that I recommended the mud runner and it did not work out for you, and they did not service you properly. I don't think it would have, I don't know, I think he's in Utah. And truthfully, if he was here, I'd have him get in touch with Belinda from Ames and in Warrenville, and he would be serviced properly there. He definitely would be serviced properly there. So shame on you, K-Tech. Again, like I said, shame on you for putting old parts on a brand new mud runner. Brand spanking new mud runner. And then other than that, I just want to ask a question, guys, since we got something going on here. How's it been going for you? How's work been going with all this coronavirus going on? How's everything been going? Have you been keeping busy? And if you haven't, what have you been doing? Have you safe? Are any of you guys who have been watching my show and stuff? Did you get sick at all from the corona? If you did, how long? And or do you know anybody? I'm sorry if you do, and if you've lost anybody to it. I've lost a couple of friends to the virus. I kind of got tired of wearing masks and being isolated from my family and stuff, so I stopped. I basically stopped staying 6 feet apart from anybody. If they want a hug, they're getting a hug, and I've been kind of done with it for a while, and I only wear a mask if they make me. If I'm made to wear a mask, then I wear a mask. If I'm not made to wear a mask, then I won't. All right, let me get this. One more swipe down here, like this. This is my first coat. So it's tape, it's got a first coat on it. So what I'm gonna do with this now, this is 20-minute mud. Probably should have used something quicker than 20-minute mud. This is 20-minute mud. And when it gets hard, I'm gonna go ahead and put a skim coat on it with 5. And when that gets hard, I'm gonna put a skim coat on it with topping. But I'll show you my skim coat with 5, and I'll show you my skim coat with topping, so bear with me. This is going to be kind of a long video, but I'm taking it from drywall, cutting it out, making it square, hanging the piece to finish, ready to sand. And when you're using 5, guys, really remember, use clean water. If you do not use clean water, you will not have 5 minutes. So don't use the dirty water that you use to wash everything up with. Now I don't need much mud. I don't need nearly as much mud as I need to tape and coat this. And I am going to pull it relatively tight too. If I do have a high spot or something, I can leave a little bit more mud in there. But in order to pull, by pulling this tight with 5, I'm going to stop a lot of the pits that you'll see on the top coat with the top. So, wow. That actually looks like it's ready to sand. It looks really, really good. That's probably one of the reasons I like the plywood use so much, is it lays down very, very flat. Very, very flat. Oh, got some other crack there. I didn't see that before. I don't know what that's from. Not for me. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. All right, so. Okay. So if you got a comment, if you want to leave a comment, if it's a negative comment, if it's really bad, I'm just going to delete it actually, because I don't get it. I don't understand why people would want to leave any kind of a negative comment in the first place. Doesn't make sense to me. And secondly, why take the time? Look what I just did. Tastes like drywall mud. I mean, why spend the time and the effort if you don't really like the content in the first place to even bother with it? It just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. So just leave it alone. Don't log in, don't watch. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Listen, there's a lot of TV shows I don't like, but I'm not going to watch it just so I can tell everybody why I don't like it. I'm just not going to watch it. So, oh, that looks good too. So just leave it alone. But I will answer any questions. I mean, I do. I answer questions all the time. And I read every single comment that's on my channel. I read them all. So leave a comment. I'm going to put a skim coat on this. You'll see me put a skim coat on it too. I still got a patch in the kitchen that I'm not recording right now. So let me go hit that. Like I said, I only got 5 minutes. All right, I'm getting ready to put a skim coat on it. For this, I'm actually using, I'll try to get closer. It's a USG dust control mud. I use it every once in a while. Here I want to use it because I don't want any chance of the dust going anywhere throughout this living room or dining room area. So that's why I'm going to use it here. So let me jump up and see what I can do here. And you guys look at too. 10-inch knife. That's the biggest knife I'm using for any of this stuff. And I didn't have to add any mud, I didn't have to add any water to this mud. The consistency of this mud was just fine without water. And I do whatever I possibly can to stay off the walls if I don't have to touch the walls at all, just so they don't have to repaint those. I try to stay off the walls. And I was able to do that throughout here. But again, too, very tight, thin coat. That's all I'm doing. It's a very tight, thin coat. You want me to repeat that? My wife says I'm a repeater. I'm a repeater. Did you hear that? Did you hear the echo? The echo. Oh, you heard it that time. So. All right. This looks really good. This looks really, really good. I wish you could see it from my perspective. That's my perspective. Come on, nice look. It looks really good. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Now, tomorrow, I'll come in here and I'll sand this. I will probably take my sanding sponge and just lightly sand this edge here. But most of the sanding's going to be with my vacuum cleaner sander. So I suck up most of the dust. And like I said, this is dust control. So this dust isn't going to go everywhere. It's not going to be that really fine dust that ends up in the master bedroom closet, which is 2 miles away. That's where the fine dust does. The dust control doesn't do that. Okay. Beautiful. Maybe I can re-sand it. All right. I'm just going to clip this end real quick here. Make sure there's no edges there. And then I'll take it across. I don't know if you noticed it, guys, when I first did this. My patch was a square patch. Don't get me wrong, it was a square patch. But it was not square to the ceiling. I mean, the ceiling's running this way, and my patch was kind of running like this because whoever cut this out in the first place didn't cut it square, but I made a square hole, made a square sheet piece, and put it in there. So it doesn't have to be square to this, it just has to be square to the hole that you put in. All right, one more little spot here, and I think I got a, no, that's it. That was it. I'm not more than I need to. And voila. Voila, wow. Holy cow, that really looks good. So I just have a little patch I have to skim in the kitchen, and I am all done. There you go, guys. From squaring it up to adding backing to putting a screw in my finger. Oh man, did that hurt. To putting a screw in my finger, to taping it, topping it, skimming it, getting it all ready to sand. That's it. That's how you would do it. And somebody asked me, how much would you charge for a couple of holes like this? And again, I have one in the kitchen. It's about half the size of one of these, but I still had to do the same thing. And I'm charging about $300 to do all of this. It's not that much work. I can do this for $300 and still make a pretty good profit at it. And then my prices are reasonable. They're not outrageous, they're not unreasonable, but I've seen guys charge as much as $500 to do patches like this. I just don't have to. I'm very happy with the 300. You know, I've often said this, give a good price, do a good job at a good price, you will never be out of work. Yes. Have a great day.
Hey, if you really like the videos, subscribe. And if you really, really like the videos, please just share them with somebody else. All right? You guys have a great day.